Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Brandon, here with another Outdoorsman 1 video. Today we're going to be talking about everyday carry. This is kind of in response to some of the things that are going on in the world today, as well as some of your guys' comments. A bunch of you guys have asked me what I carry on me every day, and so this is kind of in response to that, but unfortunately this is in response as well to some of the things that are going on in the world. As there was recently a shooting at a protest, a non-peaceful protest as I will call it, here in Provo, Utah. I live in Orem, Utah, but kind of hit home to me. I've carried for about 3 years now, almost 3 years, ever since I was able to purchase my own sidearm. I have carried, and ever since I've lived in Utah I've carried. Before we begin talking about everyday carry, concealed carry, firearms, knives, pokies, pens, papers, all of that, I'm first going to preface this by saying there are much more experienced people on YouTube. So if you've somehow gotten to this video, then I appreciate you hanging out with me and kind of learning what I run on me. Now, another note, when it comes to everyday carry and my everyday carry, a lot of the things that I carry on me are not very expensive. I have nice Benchmade knives, but I'm not going to everyday those. I have, you know, a really nice watch, but I usually don't everyday that watch. That's my date night watch. That's my this or my that. And so my everyday carry is pretty simple because of that. So we're gonna just kind of run through it real quick, and then we're gonna kind of dive into those aspects. Alright guys, so my primary piece here to my everyday carry, my essential, my firearm, my everyday carry firearm, is a Glock 19 Gen 4. And meaning that it is a Gen 4, it does have these finger grooves on there. I have not stippled this gun, but I do plan to, but I like these finger grooves very much because they fit my hand perfectly. And for those of you who the finger grooves don't fit very well, you've probably removed them, and for us that fit well, you've probably kept them. So that being said, I have the Magpul enhanced Magwell there on the bottom. One screw and it's in. It's increased my efficiency in reloading noticeably, and also very inexpensive. I have a video on that I will link in the description and at the end of this video. On the front I have an Olight PL Mini Valkyrie. This is the PL Mini 1. It's a pretty awesome light for my needs. It doesn't have an insane amount of lumens. I believe it's 400 lumens. The newer one I believe has 600 lumens. It's good enough for my purposes. It will light up a room most definitely, and it'll light up a target at 25 plus yards just fine. And I do throw a little bit of Vaseline there on the end of the lens there, because that'll allow me to be able to clean it a lot quicker and it doesn't catch so much gunk on it. But besides that, the gun's pretty stock. I still do have the original sights and whatnot. Those are something that I do want to end up switching out, are the sights on it, and as well maybe porting the barrel and getting a new slide. But a definite thing that I will be switching soon is the slide release. The slide catch, I do want an extended slide catch, and as well an extended magazine release. Those are a couple things that I do think that will be very beneficial to me. But as far as putting a red dot or an optic of some sort on here, I want to, but then again I don't want to at the same time. The holster that I use will allow it, and that's not really the main issue. I'm not worried about the weight. I'm not worried about the retraining, the angle. I've shot them and I've had varying levels of success. Obviously, if I were to have a red dot on there permanently, I would train with that and become much more confident with it. However, I just don't see the point in adding that to my everyday carry. You know, it's kind of the adding all these extra bells and whistles that you don't really need. And on top of it, should you ever need to use your firearm, the likelihood of getting this firearm back are slim. Let's be honest, if you ever have to defend yourself or your loved ones or your home with the firearm, that firearm has a high likelihood of not coming back to you. And so because of that, especially depending on the state that you live in, that being said, if you invest a lot of money into something that if you ever have to use it will disappear, doesn't make sense to me. That being said, this is the Glock 19. In the gun, I run the Glock 15 round magazine, and I use Hornady critical defense rounds. I found that they work really well with the Glock 19, whereas they didn't work great with the XDS that I carried. I carried SIG hollow points in that firearm when I was carrying it. Now let's move on to my sidecar mag. My sidecar mag is a Magpul P mag. I've had good experiences with these and also bad experiences with these. I'll probably be getting just a Glock 17 mag. As you can see, Glock 19 mag, Glock 17 mag. I've got 2 extra rounds in here, and the reason that I carry a larger mag on my sidecar is because when I chamber, or not when I chamber, because when I introduce the firearm into the holster, you can see, I've said this in multiple other videos, if you look right here, you'll see I do have my chamber empty indicator in there, so the slide isn't perfect, but if you'll see where the end of the handguard is, it's pretty flush with the top of the 17 round Glock 17 mag. That being said, it sits pretty flat across my chest and doesn't print very much like there's a gun in my pants. It just kind of looks like I'm wearing a larger belt buckle. Because I wear boots and jeans, it wouldn't be out of place for me to wear a belt buckle, so that's not anything too out of the ordinary. Then moving on, I use a Associate holster from Last Line of Defense LLD. Mike makes a good holster. On the back I've got Hunter Orange so that if it's laying there I can see it really easily. Also the top there, you know, I like that. I like the contrasting colors. And then as well, multicam black on the front because multicam black is pretty dope. I have a review on this holster. I'll link it as well. But the awesome thing about this holster is with the Olight series weapon lights, you have a wireless charger, so you can smack the wireless charger in there while the gun is sitting on your nightstand and charge away, and you don't have to take the firearm out, clear it, whatever, have it just sitting on your bedside. So that's pretty awesome. I really do like this holster because of the one clip design. So as I'm moving, the holster moves with me, whereas if I had a second clip on there, it's pretty rigid, and I found that to be uncomfortable, especially with the sidecar. So the fact that this kind of moves back and forth as I walk, very comfortable, and it's become even more comfortable as I've started losing weight and getting rid of the little belly that I have. So I appendix carry, long story short. Then moving on to another very important part of my EDC is my wallet. I have a custom made wallet, and that's a bifold. I like those. I have used money clips and things like that. I like having, you know, $40 worth of cash on me all the time, and in varying different increments. If I ever need to go to a park and pay a fee or something like that, usually cash is going to be king when you roll into campsite late at night. So that's that. Then moving on to my keys, I use a not climbing rated carabiner, but it's actually pretty scuffed up because the other night I went to the gym and there was no carabiner on the pull rope, and so I used this, and I had like 600 pounds on the sled that I was pulling, and this didn't bend or deform. This is from Multi-Mock, my old channel sponsor. Keys, I usually keep my keys and my key fob on one ring independent, so that if I ever have to, you know, give somebody my keys to my vehicle to go move it or something like that at work, or, you know, if I go to get an oil change or something like that, I can just hand them this and still everything else is going to be independent. Then I have a lot of different weapon locks, and I keep those keys on me, and as well my safe and things like that, house, office, things like that. Then if you were wondering why it looked like I put 2 knives on me, it's because on a daily basis I usually have 2 knives on me. This is a Milwaukee fastback. My roommate actually turned me on to these. These are great if you're in construction or if you're ever cutting boxes or things like that. If you can see, I do use the serrated blades because I often have to cut rope and carpet and boxes, and the serrated blades seem to do that very well for me. I'll usually carry this in my back left pocket, and I really like this for that purpose. Then for my pokey stabby, my everyday carry knife, again, I don't carry a super expensive knife. I have about 6 of these CRKT knives. They're really good blades, and usually under 40 bucks, 40, 50 bucks, and they fare very well. I like this one. The only gripe that I have about it is the liner lock. I actually had to take a grinder to the plastic to shave some of that away, or Dremel, so that I could depress the liner lock a little bit easier. I'm not too much a fan of spring-assisted knives anymore. I used to be, but now I'm not. I kind of like just the torsion, you know, with my finger. I can throw it out just as fast. But then again, my other usually go-to, this is their Terrestrial, the CRKT Columbia knife. Terrestrial. My other one is the Overland. Funny enough, I really like that one actually a lot. That one's, it almost looks like the blade's Damascus, even though it's not. And then here is that other knife that I was mentioning, which was actually in my truck at the time. This is the CRKT Overland. I love OD green, so this is really nice. The blade is kind of a folded bi-color metal hardened, and it's really smooth. It doesn't have really a tactical grip like the other one that I showed you guys, but this knife, there's nothing wrong with it. I love it. I love the shape of the blade on it. I use this really as my hiking, camping knife more than anything, because it has a really good blade if I need to cut some sort of meat or something like that. And I really enjoy this blade a lot. Funny enough, it is called the Overland. Another couple items that are in my personal everyday carry, which were in my truck because they're either on me or they're not, usually are my headphones. I personally use Skullcandy, I believe these are the Indy headphones. They now have the Indy Plus or something like that, where it doesn't charge with USB-C. You can wirelessly charge it just on a you can wirelessly charge it on a pad like so for your phone. This doesn't have that, which I'm kind of bummed out about, but you know, like I said, these are $40 headphones like the majority of the things in my EDC. They're not super expensive. They work great. Like I said previously, almost everything in my EDC isn't super expensive. I love these headphones. They are in olive drab. As you can see, the case is in olive drab, and then also the buds themselves are in olive drab. I charge this maybe once a week, and I listen to many hours of Ben Shapiro. I mean, Louder with Crowder, and all the different podcasts that I listen to: Joe Rogan, Ben Shapiro, Louder with Crowder, and then I listen to all of my different podcasts and such on these guys. I absolutely love podcasts. I'm weird. I work out to podcasts. I don't usually work out to music, so I really like getting informed while I'm working out and kind of figuring out what's going on in the world. So Skullcandy Indy headphones. These things, like I said, I charge them like once a week, or I charge the case once a week, and it's Sunday, and I'm not even less than half through the battery on this. And then the last thing, the items that are in my everyday carry, is my mask. And as a freedom-loving American as I am, I have one of these masks. I'm not going to plug the company because it took them way too long to ship this, almost 2 months. but a don't sneeze on me with the rattlesnake with a gas mask on it. I thought it was really funny. It's nice on the inside as well. It's multi-layered. As a course of current events, you know, with my second job, I'm required to wear a mask, and you know, if I want to go to Panda Express, I have to wear a mask as well. So then a couple other things that are really simple are chapstick. Beginning of spring, summer, every year in Utah, I get super chapped lips, so chapstick is a must. For work and for play, I have to remember things, so one of these notepads is pretty great. I will switch to a waterproof one during the winter. These are a little bit more annoying to write on, so usually I'll just carry a Sharpie. But my usual go-to everyday carry pen is just one of these little zebra knives. They're pretty fine. I like fine point or a G2 or a Pilot pen. The ink pens, those are kind of my favorite. Then moving on, I usually will wear a Samsung smartwatch. I have replaced these with a leather band, so it kind of looks a little bit more fancy. But then again, I will switch to either a G-Shock if it's going to be, you know, a work day, or I will wear a nice watch on kind of a date night kind of thing. And then moving on, my last part of my everyday carry is going to be my phone. Phone, super important, get you out of a million binds. I'm a Samsung guy. This is Samsung Galaxy Samsung Galaxy 10 Plus, whatever it is. Great cameras. A lot of my videos are actually shot with that. Probably going to be getting the 20 soon, or whatever comes out next. But that's my everyday carry. Moving into why I think that, or why I carry things that are inexpensive. Moving to the gun, I don't want to put red dots and all these amazing things on there because of the already stated obvious comments. Why I don't carry a really expensive knife on me is because I will often use my knife as a screwdriver, or as a this or a that, or a pry bar, or things that it's not supposed to be. And when that knife breaks, I really don't want to be mad that I just broke a $240 knife, or I just dented the blade. I used to be a fan of half serrated, half straight blade, but now I've pretty much transitioned into straight blades because I do carry another knife for that sort of thing on me on the usual. So I like to be able to throw things away if they're broken, or I like to be able to ditch things if I'm not worried about it. That's why I carry a really thin notepad and pens that come in, you know, large packs, because if I need to dump my pockets, I can throw things away and I'm not going to cry about it too much, or whatever the case may be. If it falls out of my pocket, I don't want to be worried about it. So guys, this is my everyday carry. Let me know what you guys carry. Tag me in your videos, or make it known to me what you guys carry. I always like learning from other people's carry. People have asked me why I don't carry a flashlight on me. Well, if I'm being honest, I've got a flashlight right here on my phone. I do have 2 headlamps in the center console of my truck. My truck is almost everywhere that I am, usually within a stone's throw away. I have a weapon light. Weapon lights I see as super important because I work a lot, and the most of the time that I have that's free is during the night. Or I get off of work late at night from my second job and I'm walking to my car or something like that. Using a weapon light drastically changes your tactical advantage in the situation, being as you can blind somebody, move, get off the X, and then fire from a different position and then never know where you were. Or it's a stunning thing when you can strobe the light. I love the Olight PL Mini. I love the rechargeable factor of it. I have a couple stream lights. These are just way smaller, more comfortable for me. Awesome. You say it's a Chinese light, okay. I've had it for about a year now and I haven't had any problems with it, and I'll probably buy them again for future weapons. But guys, that's my everyday carry. I appreciate you guys watching. Please, 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 the more people that carry, the safer our communities are, the safer our streets are, and the safer that this world's gonna be. Be responsible, but as always, be good, be dangerous, and be ready, and we'll catch you on the trail in the next one, guys. See ya. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Since you watched the whole thing, why don't you click that button right there that says subscribe. I kind of do a lot of stuff like this, and check me out on Instagram for daily content. You know, it's not like you clicked out of the video. Remember, be good, be dangerous, be ready, and we'll see you on the trail. Oh shoot, I needed the Pam.